Highly recommend it.
We are live. What do you highly recommend, Stu?
More than one screen when you got a desktop.
Why is that, Stu? So
Oh
here's
man.
Stu, and he's got screen one. Where's screen two? Is it next to it? Is it above it? Is it on the
Right
other
next
side
to
of
it.
the room?
Left and right, right here.
Oh, okay. And so what do you do on those various screens, Stu?
Well, I do all kinds of stuff on here.
Well,
My whole life is on these two things now. Yeah, I mean, writing content, making videos. I
right,
can
but
have a, I can.
typically, how do you use each screen? Like the screen that you're looking at right now, is that kind of like your data screen and the other screen is your activity screen?
Yes, like I have stuff like my to-do list is over here on my left screen, and you're on my right screen, and I would normally have like a little bit of a script prepared for what we are going to talk about, but
But
today is one of those days where um, I'm just going to go with whatever you say, Jim.
I should go back through all of the years and years and years of these interactions and grab sound clips and then program them into a little soundboard. So it'd be like, hey Stu, does that sound like a good idea? Whatever you say, Jim. Stu, do you think this will have an impact on what we're doing? Put me in a whole different tax bracket. Um,
Yes, Jim, I do.
Stu, is this something we should keep doing? Never quit, Jim.
Yes, keep doing it every day.
Keep going. So, quick update for those of you paying attention at home. You know that my grandson headed off to VMI this week. He was training with me over the last 6, 8 weeks. I was helping him stick with his Stu Smith guaranteed workouts, guaranteed to suck if you do it, but produce a great result. And my biggest thing was just getting him used to doing it, getting him in the habit, getting him practiced up. And I told him, I said, dude, big boy rules now. They're not screwing around. So
Yeah.
dang, if they didn't PT test his ass the first day.
Yes.
And
That's good.
so I texted him. I'm just going to read you the text, too. I mean, this is just kind of y'all are here. So I'm gonna read you the text interaction with him. Probably violating his rights, privacy rights, but so I said, well, on Sunday, I said, I'm really going to miss working out with you tomorrow. Can't tell you how proud I am of you. Go do great things. He says, when I come back, we will work out together. So
Yes.
on Monday or Tuesday, my days are all messed up. So at 7:01 a.m., I said, hey, I texted him. I said, hey, I just did 2 miles in 2012 just now, over a minute faster than last week. Not bad for an old man. I hope you have a great day. Love you. He replied back, I love you too. And within like 2 minutes, and he's like, I just did the PT test. Now this is first PT session at VMI. And I'm like, I'm
Those,
sure you're busy, but let me know how you did when you get a chance. I don't want to bother you because I know you're busy, but I was just thinking about you. He said three shy of sit-ups, but Stu failed his sit-ups on his first PT
I
test.
did.
And I did 20 push-ups and I ran in 13:35. I guess that was a mile and a half. He said I passed the run. So I said that's a great baseline, and now you know what you need to do. You got a solid foundation to build from. Just keep going from here. I'm proud of you, and I'm glad we put in that work. And then we did our cool fist.
Yeah, that
Um,
definitely helped from where he was. 6 weeks ago?
6 weeks ago, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't you just hate that 18-year-old body? Because the little rat will probably in a month be able to do
Oh,
40, 40,
double
49,
everything.
50, double every, yeah.
Yeah.
He'll be doing 11 minutes for the mile and a half
Yeah.
and 50
Sore
push-ups
sore
and
for about 10 minutes.
yeah, until it's time for chow. Um, but anyway, I felt good, not because, sure, do I wish he'd done better? But imagine if we hadn't put in that work, he
Mm.
would have been sucking it. And it's like I told Terry, the hardest thing to get better at is the run.
Yes.
And so it's easy to get better at push-ups. You just do push-ups. It's
Yeah.
easy to get better at sit-ups and pull-ups. You just do them. But that run, if you don't have the foundation, your life is hell.
It takes longer.
Yeah,
Definitely takes longer. And he's got the body body frame to run well, and here's the beautiful thing about military physical training programs is people want you to come in and yeah, be well prepared, but they also like it when people fail. And here's why. Because at the end of the summer, they can show what their program did before and after. And it means a lot. It means a lot
yeah,
to the individual, means a lot to the program, and it kind of gives the physical mission um, some credibility.
right.
So, they're going to do everything they can to make him be twice as good as when he came in at day one.
Exactly. And I wanted to share that with you because I knew you would care.
Yeah,
But also, it's one thing when someone tells you something. Like it's one thing for me to tell him that the PT studs get to go to all the cool schools and they get special treatment. It's another thing for Stu Smith to read Stu's book with me beating on him like, "Have you finished Stu's book? Have you finished Stu's book? Hold up your book, Stu." Um, it's not like it's freaking War and Peace, dude. You can get through it pretty quick.
yeah, it's pretty quick.
But it's one thing for me to tell you that, or Stu to tell you that, and that's another thing for the first day. It's like, pow, we're doing a PT test.
Love it.
And one of the things that I drilled into him as well was the idea of, hey, PT test is actually an easy day if you put in the work in between, because a PT test is basically 2 or 3 max set and a run. You're
Yeah,
done. It's the easiest workout you'll ever do if you're ready for it.
true.
And he really bought into that concept. He's like, okay, I get it. It's just another a PT test, just another workout.
Yeah.
And that's something that you really, really have stressed over the years. Cause I even got stressed out about PT tests. I'm like, what the hell am I worried about it for? But it's a test. As soon as they called it test, you get nervous.
Yeah. Butterflies.
Right. So
Pre-game jitters.
exactly. What's up, Paul? What's up, Brad? Vicky? Um, anyway, so what does this have to do with what we're talking about, what we're going to talk about today? By the way, Stu, today on both your monitors, we're going to talk about product launches, okay, or
Cool.
relaunches. All right. But
Cool.
the thing is that everybody and their brother can tell you about doing a product launch. But my question is, how many have actually done one? So that, you can know all about something. You can learn about the ergonomics of a push-up, the proper placement, whether your face should be down or at a 45-degree angle to free up airflow, or you can get your ass down on the floor and start banging them out and see how many you can do before you're in a pile of sweat and your triceps feel like they're about to get ripped off of your arm bone.
Mm,
Nothing teaches like actually doing it.
that is true.
And what I'm seeing in this world, Stu, is a whole lot of learning about it, thinking about it, arguing about it, debating about it, getting ready to do it, and not a whole hell of a lot of doing anything.
Mm-mm.
Would you agree?
I would agree.
And what is the what's the cure for that, Stu?
Start doing something.
There you go.
Quit thinking. Literally, quit thinking about it.
Right,
Start making progress
right.
and move towards that direction. And eventually it will clear itself out with any of the questions that you may be having with the process.
Okay. So quit overthinking,
Mm-hmm.
start doing, pay attention and adjust course as necessary. And what does it say on the back of the shirt?
Never quit.
Never quit. Now, right there, friends, that's a formula for success in anything you want to do.
I would
So,
agree.
the reason why we're going to talk about product launches today, product launches, relaunches. Next week, we're doing the masterclass all on launches. Got a brand new wizard that we're going to be revealing that will help you to plan your entire product launch, whether you're going to do it over 3 days or 2 weeks, whether you've got a huge list or no list. Pretty amazing, Stu, what this will do. And it helps you to plan out all the emails, all the content, everything that you, and social media posts, all the stuff that you're going to do to actually launch or relaunch virtually anything. Does that sound pretty cool?
I love it.
So, what's a launch, Stu? What's a product launch?
Product launch. I would say it is introducing your customer list, avatar, or others outside of your customer list to your new product or service.
Okay. All right. Intro product to the market, to your market. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think a relaunch is?
Um, yeah, I would say the same thing, just um, maybe a different trial of what you did before.
Right. It's
You know,
just reintroduce with a reason.
yeah.
That's the biggest thing. And this is one of the things in the masterclass to talk more about it, but most people don't do a launch. And if they do a launch, they think of it like it's the end. So whether you had a list, don't have a list, like, okay, well, let me kind of just throw it out there. I've seen launches where the launch was, hey, the book's done, the book's done at 10 a.m. and by 10:30, you're sending out an email to the list. Hey, check out my new book. I've done that. But a launch is really a pre-planned set of steps designed to maximize exposure for your product in the marketplace based on the resources that you have available to you right now. And those resources are going to change. So you're probably going to have more followers in 5 months, 6 months than you do now. You're going to have more people on your email list. You're going to have more potential joint venture partners. And so in a very short period of time, even if you were to launch today, 3 months from now, you're going to have people on your list, people in your orbit that if you're not consistently promoting the product, they're not even going to know you have it.
Mm.
And so a launch is an event, but it is only part of your ongoing marketing for whatever it is that you're selling. So, for example, you're a great example of this stuff. What is the first thing you did when you launched that book behind you, The Never Quit Mindset? What did you do?
I usually have a three-step process for my first thing I do. I
Okay.
write an article about it,
Okay.
and I, have it on my website, but I send it out to all my social media.
Okay. So you write an article and the article goes out to all your social media.
Yes.
Okay.
Then
Then
that
what?
same article
Uh-huh.
goes out to all my email lists.
Okay. Okay. Then what? You said you had
And
a
then,
three-parter.
yep, my third part is I um, will boost that post either on Facebook or YouTube
Or both.
and even Amazon.
Okay.
I'll put an ad up on Amazon.
Okay. So basically, you create value In fact, let me. Step one, create value. Step two, share it on social media and share it with your. So basically, share with the existing audience. And then step three, paid promo based on the stuff that works. Because you
Yes.
don't boost a post that nobody gives a crap about.
Right.
Okay. So you have a strategy.
Yes.
Now, once you go through the Stu Smith launch strategy, which I want you to be there next week because I've already see some things that you will be like, oh crap.
Yeah, sure. Oh, I'd
Okay.
love to do it.
So then what do you do? So that's done. You never talk about the book again.
No, it continues. It is another post the next day. It is a discussion and a live Q&A. It is let me think what else. And usually I'll play around like with another type of paid ad, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. And this week, actually, I'm putting one up on Amazon.
So you're
So
doing an
I'm
Amazon ad.
still, yeah, I am still promoting it, and it is what, 1 month old now,
Okay. I
maybe
mean,
6 weeks.
so when are you going to stop promoting it?
I'm not.
Okay, good answer. But yet most people stop promoting their stuff.
Yeah,
They just stop. It's like, oh, I guess I did it. No, you ain't ever done.
yeah.
Um, but look at this. All right. It's basically you're doing content, you're doing live stuff, you're doing paid ads. Do you ever mention it to your list again?
Oh yeah. I mean, it is a staple in all of my newsletters.
But you already
Uh,
told them about it, Stu. You already
I don't.
told them
It's
about
just
it.
a reminder. It's still there. Still there.
So you don't have to tell me, but picture in your mind how many copies of that book that you have sold. You don't have to tell me the number.
Okay.
Then picture the number of people who are on your subscriber list when you send out an email. And is the number of sales less than the number of people who are still on your email list?
Yes.
Okay, as long as there's a gap
Significantly.
between that number, yeah, I know it's big, but as long as there's a gap between the number of sales and the number of people who are still on your list, there are people who have not gotten the message in a
Yep.
way that resonates with them yet.
I like that. That's a good way to put it.
And so that's the way I look at it is holy crap. Now, after about 6 months and those people still ain't bought, but the book is still popular or the product or the course or whatever is still popular, now we get into relaunch phase.
Mm.
Okay? Or you could even do it 2 months later. You could do it every 2 months.
Yeah.
Okay? What do you think if we're looking at this, we're talking about a relaunch, okay? What's the key here? We're reintroducing, but I brought up it's re, okay?
I like it.
Reason. So that book right behind you. So 6 months from now, it's going to be cold again. Damn it. Can you believe that the year's already over half over?
I know, man.
Oh
It's
my God. Did that cross your mind on the first? Like, holy crap. The year 2025, which when we were like 10 or 12 years old back in 1980, was like the year 2000 is forever away. And now we're a quarter of a century past the turn of the century. You're getting old,
yeah.
Stu.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
It
I
is.
don't even remember like the 2000s. I mean, is when did what happened?
I remember them. I lived in a trailer for a long time. Um, so here's the thing. In all seriousness, if you were going to relaunch that book, if you were going to reintroduce that book to your list, what would be something you could do that would be a reason why you're bringing it to their attention again?
Hmm. Maybe an update.
Perfect. Okay. What else?
Um, let me see. Maybe a sale.
Okay. That's one way to do it. I would do maybe instead of a sale, I would do a bundle offer
Right.
with a new bonus is one of the best ways to do it is just to offer a new bonus.
Okay.
So let's think this through real quick. What are the most popular posts that you make that always result in sales? You've told me before.
Um,
Think real simple.
yeah. Usually a workout video, a workout picture, um, or video. Um,
You've told me in the past, the thing I'm thinking of is when people give you PT test results.
oh yeah, yeah. Of course. Yeah,
Okay,
that's what I
so
do every twice a month. I'm sending those things out.
okay, what if you did an interview with someone who went from zero to hero and dissected their journey and their mindset?
Yeah.
And that was the bonus. You got the or you did it with a couple people. So somebody who went from, it's you remember on the back of the comic books, man, that, the stand kicked in his face. I went from
Oh yeah.
98-pound weakling to, that's the thing, is to do some before and after interviews. Um,
Yeah. Great idea.
what if you went to, now let's really think outside the box. All right. So there's a whole bunch of dudes out there who know who you are and you don't. I know this makes you uncomfortable sometimes, but what if that dude, remember that fireside chat with Marcus Luttrell and somebody else? And that
Yeah.
one, they were all talking, oh, yeah, I went and found this dude that, beat the shit out of me and my brother for, Marcus said he and his brother
Yeah.
found this dude in Texas. And this one dude, I don't remember who he was like, I just bought Stu Smith's book and read it and did it. And all those dudes are like, oh, you do an interview with that dude
Yeah.
or
That's
with
funny.
some of these guys or Eddie Gallagher, right? I mean, some of these
Yep.
dudes, just say, hey, I'd like to do an interview with you about the never quit mindset. Be like 20 minutes long. And it's like
Ah.
you start doing interviews with those dudes, just, have your 3 or 4 questions, get them to tell a story of the hardest thing that they ever came up against. Maybe they him,
Yeah.
but dude, you start doing those. And I mean, that's, you know,
Right. Say no more.
that's the kind of, and you want to talk about doing that during a launch or a relaunch? Holy crap, dude.
Yeah.
And
That's a good one.
that's going to launch you into a whole new space
Yep.
of people that they ain't even working out, but they just want to know they just want to know the mindset secrets. You know what I'm
Genius,
saying?
Jim. Genius. Thank you. I was looking at expanding my podcast video life,
Hmm.
that's out there. And I was trying to think of what that was going to be,
Hmm.
and you just filled in the blank
Yeah, the never
because
quit mindset.
yeah, I'm all over that. All over
Yeah,
that.
and those dudes that
Yeah.
do it because I mean, dude, you train half these dudes,
Yeah.
you know, and you were kind of doing that with your podcast before, like when you were interviewing people and
Yeah,
stuff.
2
And I
through and
don't,
after. Yeah. My
yeah,
2
and
through and
and
after ones. Yeah.
and you kind of slowed down on that, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I Definitely dropped the ball on that one.
But this mindset thing, you start thinking about all the different dudes that you could talk to, and you especially want to go after guys or gals that already have really good exposure.
Sure.
So like the dude that do you know the guy who does the Mic Drop podcast?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, could you, I mean, you see where I'm going with
Oh
this.
yeah, yeah.
Do your
Absolutely.
hit list of all these dudes that have a really cool following already, and interview them for your podcast. I mean, and it
Yeah.
doesn't have to be super long, but this angle of the never quit mindset it's really good.
Yeah. You're good.
And they're
Very good,
sharing
Jim.
stories and all this other. I mean, dude, I'm just telling you the stuff that I would want to listen to
I'm on it.
while I was watching that real-time stretching video that I'm still eagerly
I'm
anticipating for Mobility Day.
I am creating it.
Anyway, um, but those now, but when you think in terms of that, how can the biggest thing that people do, and I see this, okay, you're like, I could run a sale. Nah, screw that. Don't ever reduce your price. Just stack on more value.
Yeah. Agreed. I would classify sale as that option. Doesn't have to be a coupon code. But it could be, like you said, a bundle, or, you know, free ebook with purchase type of thing, or whatever.
Just adding more value instead of lowering the price.
Mm-hmm.
Like the dudes at Go Ruck. Like if I'm ever going to buy anything from Go Ruck, I know I'm going to wait till when? July.
Spring, yeah,
Because
yeah,
they
summer.
always do what? Christmas in July. Those
Mm.
dudes always discount their prices in July. If I'm getting anything from them, it's like, okay, I'm gonna dip it, dip it, dip it, dip it, dip. And then I'll shop their bargain. Like we got 3 of these left and we're discontinuing it, and it's half price, and I might do something. But look at this mindset of, hey, I know I got a product that works. What do I got to do to read? Now I'm thinking in my own mind, okay, dumbass, how are you going to do this with copy and content? What could you do? I mean, I'm thinking in my own head, but it's like, what's a reason why people who haven't bought this already should buy it now? And looking at it from the standpoint of how could I reward the people who've already bought to really engage them and to enhance the relationship? Because a lot of, well, how can I get people who've bought before to buy again? You can't. How many now you can say, hey, and if you'd like to get a physical copy and give it to a kid, my buddy Jim gave it, for example, my buddy Jim gave a copy to his grandson who was headed to VMI because he knew the kid was going to have 3 main areas that he'd be tempted to quit, because it happens to everybody. One's going to be physical, one's going to be academic, and the other's going to be social. And if you're not prepared, so if you know a kid, a young person that could, grab them a copy, send it as a gift, buy 2. Okay. But here's, because you already bought, I'm just going to give you access to this avalanche of cool new bonuses that I'm doing. And if you haven't bought or you want somebody else to get access to it, buy a copy for them.
Mm-hmm.
So, dude, I would love to see you interviewing those dudes
That would be fun.
about mindset and, taking them back to a time when they were ready to quit, because none of them will say, hey, I've never been tempted to quit. But let's go back to that moment when you made the decision not to quit.
Yes.
What was going through your mind? Tell me what you were feeling. Tell me what you said to yourself. Tell me what was around you, what you were paying attention to, what you were ignoring. What did you visualize? That's the kind of stuff that I want to know.
Yeah.
And I
I
know
love
you
that
can
stuff.
dig it out of them,
Yeah. I love that.
because
Yeah.
unlike me, you know how to shut your mouth and let somebody else talk.
No, man, I love it. Thank you. Thank you very much. I
So
was I'm actually thinking of writing less for other websites and doing more video.
for
So,
other websites,
yeah, like military.com. I mean, they pay me nicely, but it's why do that? I mean, I've done it for over 20 something years, so it's a nice relationship, but it's not
Well, that
something
would be
that
a selling point to the people you wanted to interview is, hey, this video would be on military.com, it'd be on Stu Smith Fitness. This would really kind of help you get some exposure.
true. I could do that too. But I don't know. I'm just thinking of like eventually, military.com has a potential for not being around.
Who? Which?
Military.com has a potential for not being it's just me thinking, what
The way
if,
of the world.
what if like this company no longer exists?
Well, you
Why
got to
be
start building up your own
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
I mean, and I do, and I write articles for my own website, and and do videos and things like that. So it was just, I'm just one of those guys that likes to have contingencies, right? So I don't want to
Yeah.
have to rely on this amount of money coming in every month. I could think of another way to make that kind of money, whether it's through views on YouTube or it's through ads and things like that that I have not chased yet. Like I have not gone into that realm of profit centers.
If I was going to do two things, if I was going to recommend for you to do two things, all right. One, it would be do what we just talked about. If nothing else, to create content that you could use to promote the crap out of the book, but it might turn into something else with interviewing people about the never quit mindset and just
Yeah,
having
yeah,
significant people who have followings.
yeah,
The second thing would be to come up with some sort of we've talked about this before, like, the greatest national security threat we face is not, illegal immigrants or ISIS or Iran, but the obesity epidemic. And, the big, where I got scared was when I saw kids, the biggest reason why kids aren't going to the military used to be criminal record or whatever. And now it's because they can't do a PT test. They can't,
yeah,
they can't do whatever. That's a cool enough angle to get you on the circuit. I'm sounding the alarm. This is the thing. This is what needs to happen. This is why it's an issue. This is what nobody's talking about.
yeah,
And then you could even discuss, the fat boy companies and stuff that they're trying to do in the military, and whether they're effective or not. You stick a
yeah.
kid in fat boy PT for 6 months and then he can go to basic training. Is that a good idea?
It actually is, and it's highly effective. And they actually, I don't mean to interrupt you, but
Talk.
I just saw an interesting research study on it. Is they're not just creating people that are meeting the minimum standard. Is that some of these kids are rising and becoming leaders within those groups, and doing well in the class. So it is definitely working.
And you talk
So
about why
yeah.
that's transformational and how it's actually you've seen it get bad press and people look down on it. But
Mm.
here's the thing: if we don't teach, nobody's taught them. We
Right?
used to teach them in PT. Remember the president's physical fitness award?
Yeah.
Like, you got that patch when we
I
were
pulled my
kids.
patch out the other day. I got a couple
Yeah.
of them hanging
Yeah.
around.
You
Yeah.
got a patch when you were a kid
Yeah.
for being in good shape. You put that on. Remember when you had a little sweat jacket and your mom would sew your patches and stuff from sports and stuff on it?
That was the best.
That was cool, man. It was usually blue with a red and white stripe up the
Uh,
arm,
yep. So
But
cool.
my point is that these are the kind of things that you could run around and spread the gospel of stew. So it's a
Yeah.
give and take, and that I could really see revolutionizing your business, especially now. Not everybody wants to get in great shape, but nobody wants to be a quitter.
Yeah.
And so the mindset thing is something that's universal that you could go talk to different audiences about, instead of, you've always said, only fit people buy fitness books.
100%. Jim,
So,
I'm glad we made this all about Stu show.
well,
It's been
only
awesome.
Only people with minds buy mindset books. So yeah, I'm excited, man. I think it's important.
But that you're right. That's a great way to relaunch a a book.
Yeah,
You know, let that book kind of be the catalyst to new areas that you might not have even foreseen when you were writing it, because you just showed me something that I didn't think about, and I usually think about those things.
sure. And you know what you could do also is you could take several of those 20-minute interviews, transcribe them, edit them, and then make them part of the second edition of the book so it fattens it up a little
Ooh,
bit.
oh yeah, yeah, I like that.
So, and for those of you who are like, well, I never even launched my book. Well, here's the thing. You can substitute the word book for product, coaching, whatever it is you're selling. You
Yeah,
can launch it initially as best you can with what you've got. Then you keep promoting it and doing the drill, and then you relaunch it. Add more value based on the feedback you've gotten from the marketplace,
yeah.
and then
You
just wash, rinse, repeat.
you know, I wrote that Tactical Fitness Over 40 series, 10 years ago. You know,
That was
remember the one
oh
I did with you,
yeah, yeah. I was doing
Tactical
the
Fitness.
math of when I was 40, and it was more than 10 years ago.
Well, no, I
It was
wrote it when I was 45. I figure if I'm going to write a book about over 40, I should be 45, just like this one. I wrote
there
this
you
one
go.
about being over 50 when I was 55.
Right,
Um, so I reintroduced that book every, every month at least, because there's a new 40-year-old turning 40 every day. You know,
sure.
just like the young kids, who want to go do spec ops. There's a new 18-year-old that wants to go do spec ops every day. So it is very smart, depending on what you're writing about, to keep it in the flow. Keep it in the flow.
Sure. And here's the thing. What you just said though, you got new people flooding in. Maybe some of the stuff you did to introduce the product to the market, you just keep doing that. It's called ongoing promotion. But
Yes.
when you want to reintroduce, especially to your own audience, there's got to be a reason why.
Smart.
Like, why the hell should I pay attention now?
Right.
Or I'm ready now. Or wow, I didn't know it did that. A lot of times it's just reintroducing it with stuff maybe you didn't talk about before.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Good point.
anyway, I'm if you got something that's working, keep working it. People abandon stuff way too fast,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
and they run away from their past life. They run away from stuff that's working, but it's never working fast enough. Well, it takes a while to dial some stuff in sometimes. And I love the saying. I gotta find out who said it originally, but you are you are most qualified to help the person you used to be.
Ooh, very good.
And so if you really think about it, Stu started out helping the kid that he was that showed up to the Naval Academy who thought he was in shape and failed his sit-ups. And then Stu helped the late 30s guy whose ankle fell apart and had to
Yeah.
get, that's when you started doing mobility stuff.
Yeah.
Then, you got over 40 and you're like, oh, that shit still hurts 2 weeks later. um, you help that guy. And then you're helping
Yeah.
the guy over 50. I don't know what you're gonna do when we hit over 60.
I'm
The
sure I'll think of something.
Social Security recipient's guide to fitness. Um, but that's the thing is that something you said, I didn't write the guide to fitness over 50 the day I turned 50. I didn't write the 40-year-old thing on the day I turned 40. I actually wrote from my experience of
Yes.
being there for a while, which is what makes it so valuable because it's based on your experience. I mean, we can go to, I'm going to do a little example here real quick. Dun, 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 dun. How are we doing on time?
I got 1040.
Okay. So let's do a new chat. And I'm going to go, this is Genie Chat. And I'm going to tell Genie Chat, give me a workout for the week as if you were Stu Smith, training me to get in shape for military service. Whoops. I got to refresh the page, but I ain't typing that again. So copy that, hit refresh. Let's see what it does. I want to see if it comes close to what you send to me on a weekly basis. And it's thinking. That's a good thought.
Okay.
That's a good. It's thinking. It's thinking. It's thinking. Oh, here we go. Oh. Monday, endurance and body weight, warm up, dynamic stretches, leg swings, arm circles, workout, run 3 to 4 miles, circuit, push ups, body weight, pull ups, plank, cool down, knee, light jog, 400 this, bicycle, strength, functional. Okay. It's
Hmm.
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's missing a bunch of stuff. And the reason I know that is because I got my Stu Smith workout. And so why do I bring that up? Well, some people might be, well, I can just have it give me a workout. Well, no. So like here's the last 3 years of workouts from Stu. So here's the workout that I'm doing this week. And come on, I hate Microsoft's pissing me off so bad with their stuff where you got to sit there and wait for it now over the internet to verify you. It's irritating.
Oh, yeah.
But like, look at the difference though. And this is customized for me. Warm up, 15-minute jog, then do this, then do this, then do this, then do this. There's no comparison. And maybe you could train it to do it. Oh, it's telling me to hydrate. You never told me that, Stu. You suck. Uh, my point though is that AI is only going to get you so far,
Yeah.
but the experience that Stu has is priceless and really will never be able to be replicated by AI because AI is never going to know me or going to know customers and clients and all just be able, it's just never going to get there. It'll get close, probably get
Mhm.
90, 95% of the way there, but that extra 5% is the difference maker. That's the difference between crushing it and getting crushed.
Yeah.
So anyway, um, what else? Okay, so if you're interested in learning how to launch, relaunch, having a crash course on that, also be interested in seeing a brand new tool that will plan your entire launch for you, whether you're doing it over 3 days or 2 weeks, whether you have a huge list or no list, helping you to come up with a plan that you can execute to launch or relaunch whatever kind of product you have. Very cool piece of software. Um, then go ahead and make sure that you register for the masterclass on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, and we'll see you there. And if you want to develop the never quit mindset, and we're check your email, we'll send you the list. We'll send you the link. If you want to develop never quit mindset, grab Stu's book, available on Amazon or StuSmithFitness.com.
Thank you.
Also, Stu has an amazing home study course on how to further develop a never quit mindset that you can get with a bundle deal actually with that book
Yep.
when you go check it out on StuSmithFitness.com. So, all right, everybody, have a great week, and we'll see you next Tuesday on the masterclass. Bye bye, everybody.